Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Wizard World virtual experiences as the crowd emojis wildly. We usually love hearing your applause, and we hope that you're applauding in the safety of your home. But we can't hear the applause, so we want to see your love via emoji. Give us those thumbs up, give us those hearts, give us all those funky little emojis that you can design and come up with on Twitch. We are streaming to you completely free and live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, bringing that Comic-Con life to the comfort and safety of your home. We've loved doing these. We appreciate you. We have fans watching from across the country and across the globe, coast to coast. Right now, we've got folks in Los Angeles, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, Alabama, Maryland, New York. We've got folks watching in the UK and Australia. So thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning, afternoon, or evening if you're in Australia or the UK watching. We appreciate you being here again. These are streaming to you completely free. You can also watch them if you're watching this at a later date. There are some awesome paid experiences you can take advantage of as well. Just head to Wizard World Virtual, again, wizardworldvirtual.com to experience those. We've got one-on-one video chats with all of these gentlemen that I'm about to bring out in a sec. They are going to be doing that at the top of the next hour. So this is your last chance. Definitely head to Wizard World Virtual right now and take advantage of a once-in-a-lifetime one-on-one video chat with these amazing actors. That will be happening at the top of the next hour. If you're watching this a little bit later in the week, autographs, video recorded messages, those will be on sale throughout the week. So definitely take advantage of those. If you're looking for memorabilia, works of art, items from our regular vendors and our favorite vendors, head to the Wizard World Vault. Again, that's wizardworldvault.com. You can see the upcoming schedule, but we also want to support all of our amazing vendors that we would normally have at physical conventions that unfortunately just aren't happening right now. We're supporting them virtually at wizardworldvault.com. Shout out to our sponsors, Go Collect Comics, and then also the U.S. Army for sponsoring these panels, and specifically this Sons of Anarchy panel today. That's enough housekeeping for me. Let's bring out these next amazing actors. It has been, I can't believe it's been so long. 2014, the series ended with season 7. What a journey. What an awesome dramatic series that really looked into the lives of motorcycle clubs and really just all of the different gangs and groups out there and how they all interact. It was an amazing drama on FX, and I'm excited to bring these actors that were part of that legacy and that series out. Let us start off. You may have seen him also in Deadwood and Fear the Walking Dead, the former chief of the charming police department, Chief Wayne Unser himself. Let's hear it for Dayton Callie. Go for it. There we go. There we go. We did it. We did it.
Everybody, that was amazing. Get me through that.
That's the hardest part, Dayton. Now it's smooth sailing. You can kind of recline back, kind of chill. Where are you calling in from?
Where am I? Oh, California.
Nice.
North of Glendale, Pasadena, up there.
Awesome.
I'm hiding in the woods.
Yeah. Kind of escaping from things a little bit right now, right?
Yeah.
As best you can. Well, thank you for joining us. Let's get the other gentleman out here. You've seen him in Good Game and many Law and Order appearances. He's the bookkeeper for Sam Crow, Chucky Marstein. Let's give it up for Michael Orstein.
Hello, Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us. Is that there's some beautiful art in the back there. Is that your art or is that art that you've collected?
Yeah, it's my stuff. It's my studio here.
Oh my
Show
God.
the where stuff. Where's the stuff in the stolen room?
Oh, the stolen room I can't show you.
He's only got the originals behind him. The good stuff is around the corner somewhere, right?
Yeah.
In the secret room. Awesome. Let's bring out owner of Illusion Cycles. That's a real awesome bike stop that you can go to. Founder and lead guitarist of Attica 7. He played the president of the Nomad Crew, member of Sam Crow. You've seen him in Mayans as well. Playing Rain Quinn. Let's hear it for Rusty Coons.
Hello, Rusty. There you are.
Oh, hello.
Funny.
Rusty, thank you for joining us. Where are you calling in from?
Redondo Beach, California.
There we go. 2 Californians. And Michael, I forgot to ask, I know we talked about it a little beforehand. Tell us where you're zooming in from.
I'm in Ohio.
Yeah, we're representing different time zones here. I'm in New York, so we got the whole coast to coast. We have folks watching in the UK and also in Australia, so we are hitting all the time zones out there. So we appreciate all the fans for watching. Let's bring out our final gentleman on this panel today. You've seen him most recently in Snowpiercer. Awesome TV series. If you haven't checked it out yet, he was in True Detective, a whole bunch of TV shows and films. He is true IRA member, the Butcher of Belfast, Galen O'Shea. Please give it up for Timothy V. Murphy.
Hello, Timothy. How are you, bro?
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Timothy, thank you for joining us as well. Tell us a little bit about where you're calling in from right now.
I'm calling in from my backyard in Santa Monica, California.
Very nice, very nice. It looks like it's a pretty nice day out there in California, yeah?
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Blue skies.
Very nice, very nice. Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining. As I mentioned, we have, look, Chelsea Thomas, 32. Michael says, I'm a huge fan of your art, Michael. So we've even got fans chiming in already. They're going to be asking questions. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But I want to kick things off. So we'll get to some fan questions in just a bit. Let's talk about the legacy of this show. My gosh, 7 seasons, one of the highest rated series on FX. And this was during a time, and I hate to say during a time like it was ancient times, you know, this is 2008 to 2014, but there were a ton of other dramas on, not same storyline, obviously, but similar sort of feel to them. But Sons of Anarchy really stood apart from the rest and became one of the most successful shows on TV. And what's super interesting now is now that we're kind of all stuck at home, it's one of those things that people are going back and rewatching or watching for the first time. You know, I'd love to just go around the room. Let's start with you, Dayton. Just tell us a little bit about what it feels like to be part of a show that's got that longevity and that legacy. Dayton, you obviously were with the show the longest, maybe seconded only by Michael here. And then Rusty and Tim, I know you guys came on like a little bit later in the show's seasons. But Dayton, tell us what it's like to like know that people are still loving and still watching the show.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. I mean, you think, you know, a lot of shows, you do some stuff and it dies and you know, you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
So this, I still get people like fan mail all the time, which I don't know why somebody wants, but anyway, they get fan mail all the time saying how much they love the character, how much of this and that, and you know, they tell me Michael Ornstein stinks and how it wasn't like working with him, you know, but you know, it's you get proud of something, you know. There's not much stuff you can be proud of on TV, you know.
Yeah.
And to be able to do something that you know, you don't have to duck and hide when people see it, it's really special. It's kind of nice. I mean, not kind of nice. It is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I mean,
over 7 years, you get to work with a lot of, you know, these guys are great, man. It was like fun to go to work. But that's off a little other subject. But
no. It's so awesome to hear, and that's what today's all about. It's a celebration of the show, and again, huge fan at the time, and then now just rediscovering the show again. People are, which is super awesome. Michael, talk about fan favorite characters. Obviously, Chief Unser, man, we were just always trying to do the good thing, but always just getting stuck in the mix. Another character, again, always looking out for the club. You know what I mean? Gets kind of roped in there in the beginning, and then just looking out for Sam Crow the whole way through is Chucky, another fan favorite character. You know, again, Michael, tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a part of the legacy of the show.
Well, it's a trip. It's like a way of life, you know, for a lot of people. It was very real. It like really cut through a lot of stuff and hit people personally, you know, and people from all walks of life. You know, I met a 93-year-old woman who rolled up her sleeve and showed me a Reaper tattoo she had on her forearm.
Yeah,
you know, so I mean, like, you know, I mean,
at the age gap, that was, you know, phenomenal from young to old that watched the show.
Yeah, man, just across the board, you know, I mean, like everybody loved this show. And I think it was a credit to like the truthful nature of it and that it was universal. You know, it's so rare to, you know, be in a piece of work that's universal like that hits so many different people. Plus, like, you know, we knew all the service members overseas were watching and, you know, and I mean, it was just such an experience, man. It was just we had such a communication with our audience. We really felt them. we really, you know, knew they were out there, and we were like working with them. It was
Well, it was
wild,
fun.
man.
You know what else? If I can, it was fun watching the way it went up every week with ratings and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That was, you know, a lot of times it reaches a peak and that's it. You know, but this kept building and building and building and building, which is unusual. You know, and you know, I think Sopranos did that. You know, it's just one of those shows. You know.
Well, and again, like a lot of competition out there, a lot of other dramas, you know what I mean? That not only on FX, but on, you know, AMC, things like that you were competing with. But yeah, still season 3.
There was no competition.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like there were a lot of other things out there, but you guys were number one. So no competition for you, but a lot of other folks trying to get to Sons of Anarchy level, you know?
Yeah, it was a different, we were in our own kind of category, man. It was like a whole different scene. It was more than it was kind of like more than a TV show. It was like a ride that people sign on for, and you know, and still, you know, it's still very much alive. Like you were saying, you know, new people come to it, and it's like it's fresh. It's not dated. It's not attached to any specific time. It's timeless.
Yeah, and it's a real like story of real people. You know what I mean? It's not I mean, there's obviously some like TV glorification, sure, but like, you know, we're seeing these motorcycle clubs. You know, they were never portrayed like that before. You know, they were always kind of schlocky and like very like stereotypical, if you will. You know what I mean? In other shows, but this really like took a deeper look into the life of them. You know.
Part of what people liked, I think, about it was the unpredictability of the show.
Yeah.
You know, like you never knew who's going to get killed. You know, I mean, we never knew who was going to get killed. You know what I mean? I mean, you knew when Tim came on that he was going to kill somebody. He's going to kill somebody. This guy, I didn't know anything about it. It's going to kill somebody.
Yeah, let's segue to Tim. Tim, you come on as part of the True IRA, and the Irish obviously a big part of the show. What was it like to come on as this big character that's there for 3 seasons, ultimately becomes kind of the main antagonist in the end? You know, working with Sam Crow up front, but then becomes a big antagonist. But everybody kind of flips throughout the series, you know, in general. But yeah, tell us about coming in kind of at the height of the success of the show, really, you know, and being the new kind of big bad, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of the show, so it was a great. It's, you know, it's great for an actor to come on such a big show at the time, and you know, it's daunting the first day. I think I had a big speech on one of my first days to all the club members, and they're all waiting to see if you're going to fucking perform or not, and it's like if you don't perform, you're fucked, basically. You know, so I probably can't say this, can I?
Oh no, we're good. This is anything you want to say where there's no limitations. So go for it.
Great, because I speak like that normally. Yeah. So yeah, it was amazing, and I as an actor, I mean, I can't think of a better job than what the boys were doing. They get up on a summer morning, ride their bikes to work, you know, act like tough guys, and then ride their bikes home. I mean, you can't get a better freaking job in LA, you know. And they go home to their own houses as well at night. It's fantastic. As far as playing the bad guy, I love playing the bad guy. You know, you just give people a hard time, and that's it, you know.
Rusty, let's speaking of bringing in those real bikers. You know, you are a biker yourself. You know, you have a motorcycle shop. Tell us, was that how you got connected to the series, and what was it like coming in again at the heyday, season 5? You come in, and then now have joined us there, and an appearance on the Mayans as well. Tell us a little bit about being a biker and then coming on this show that really represented those clubs pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. When I got there, the show was in season 5. And when I showed up for the first day of shooting, it was like a little city there. You know, I said, damn, I didn't expect this. You know what I mean? They've got, you know, food everywhere, people running around, 100 and something, almost 200 people on the cast and crew. It was pretty impressive. But it was a good run. You know, I had fun with it. I was there in, you know, 2.5, whatever, a little over 2 seasons, you know, 5, 6, and 7.
Very cool. Very cool. This goes right, segues into one of our fan questions. We have a bunch coming through from everybody watching. So continue to send those questions through on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. This is from Joe Castillo, and I kind of know the answer to this a little bit, but his question is, did you guys work with real 1% clubs to learn the lifestyles and rules to being in a club? I know David LaBrava was brought on super early on, member of Hell's Angels. So I know the answer is yes, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, like what it was like bringing on these real motorcycle club members and learning from them and how that was.
Well, it was probably the closest to portraying people how they are in clubs. I mean, a lot of the drama, of course, it's a TV show, and you have to have a lot of drama that. In reality, I mean, if you did the stuff that was going on every week there, they'd have tanks bulldozing the clubhouse down, from the government. But other than that, it did get into, being more active with the way the club was ran, the meetings, the camaraderie, and a lot of that kind of thing.
Yeah, there was a few of the 1%ers that I guess they came in periodically. I guess somebody asked somebody or something. But
I don't know any of those guys.
The strangest thing is that happened to me. Yeah, I went to Cave Creek. You know where Cave Creek is?
Cave Creek, yeah.
For what's his name 70th birthday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was surrounded by 1,000 bikers, 1%ers and 2%ers and all the percenters.
Sure.
And I was there, and there was like 4 of us went: me, Charlie, Boone, and Gemma, Katie. And I'm trying to mingle in because I'm the only fucking cop there. I'm telling people I'm really not a real cop, TV cop, So, and one guy, big ass guy like Rusty, comes and puts his arm around my neck, right? And I'm looking, and he goes, "You're the only cop I ever liked." And I'm, okay, thank you. But we got to visit around them and just talk. And I guess Kurt was and Charlie were getting all the information they could, and that's how Charlie came up with the sneakers. Because the new they made fun of him at first, like, fucking motorcycle, they don't wear sneakers, but the younger guys are wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
The old guys, the older timers, they wore boots and stuff, right, Russ?
Right.
But
That's
then
right.
young guys were saying, they had shorts on and sneakers, and it was much more hip.
What happened was up in Oakland, Charlie went up there and visited. I guess a couple of guys went up there, and a lot of the youngsters up there, they're into more of that scene with the shorts and the
right.
The white tennis shoes and all that kind of thing. And I was down here in the South, and I was like looking at him, what the hell are you doing, man? I used to tell my guys that you're not wearing tennis shoes. You know what I mean? You're wearing boots and Levi's, none of that. I mean, there used to be a rule in some of our charters, you don't wear shorts and do any of that stuff.
Right.
So there was this prospect one time that was told you can't wear shorts. So he, as a joke, he shows up at the next meeting wearing a dress.
That's hilarious. Well, but that's ultimately what the series is about, right? Camaraderie first, but then legacy. What the new generation brings, and so we see that through the 3 generations. From father to son to then the kids. You know what I mean? Like, and how things evolve and change. But really, it's all about family and brotherhood in the end. And that's why I made it such a cool show. Michael, talk a little bit. Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, like Dayton was saying before, how, you got it when you're dealing with like a subject matter, you got to make that subject matter real for the people who are actually living that life. And if it's real for them, it's going to be real for us. And I think that's the thing. We tried to make it as real as possible so that it would pass the smell test of people who are actually in that life first, and then everybody else. And like what Dayton was saying before, there was a lot of uniqueness, because in life you see things that are very surprising, that are real. So once we had the truthfulness of it, we were able to get unique with it and get surprising and show different angles, like the sneakers and like different things like that, to make it real and to make it our world. Once we had the truth of it, we could do anything.
Yeah.
And to make it real, Michael really does masturbate a lot.
All the time. I'm doing it now. That's why I'm cut off here.
Every day.
That's the
day.
best part of Zoom.
This whole time.
Dayton, I'm doing it. Can you talk to me a little more? Breathe.
Yeah.
You couldn't get him out of the trailer. He was in the trailer all the time.
Can I just say something? I will say something about Michael. When he first, I didn't know Michael, you know, he shows up on the thing and he's got these, you know, he's doing what he does, you know, and I'm to myself, this is nothing to do with his acting ability. Obviously, he was good, but I'm saying to myself, this fucking guy ain't gonna last one episode. And now he's in 3 fucking shows, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought, what are they gonna do with a fucking guy with no fingers? You know what I mean? What is it?
Man, the first shot that I did was when I go into the van and shake Charlie's hand. I sit next to Ron and Charlie, and I shake their hand, and then I put my hand down my pants. And that's when I met them. I purposely didn't meet them until that shot, and that's when I really met them. It was great, man.
It was fun.
Method acting. Yeah, there's some awesome just characterizations on the show in general. That's what makes it so everybody's so unique. You know what I mean? From the main characters all the way down to just the bartenders and you know, everyone's got like a personality, and that's what's so cool, I think, about the show. Yeah, when you see that
every single aspect.
Yeah,
like multi-dimensional.
Totally. Timothy, talk a little bit about, we talked about the research that was done, you know, with motorcycle clubs. You know what? I'm sure the IRA is a tough group to get in touch with, you know what I mean, and kind of figure out some things about. What was the type of research you did there to kind of learn a little bit about their organization and how that works?
Well, I was a member of the IRA, so I'm fucking with you. Arms would be smuggled from Boston to a fishing village just outside my town, you know, and they'd be smuggled in big boats, and then the trawlers would go out and pick the guns up. They'd be buried in the graveyard close to my town, and then they'd be smuggled up to the north of Ireland for, you know, the fight against the British. So I mean, I obviously come from a very Republican area of Ireland, and we there's living in Ireland, you have a lot of knowledge. And I was up in you know, I did plays up in the north of Ireland, was part of the West Belfast Festival, and you know, I met all you know, I met Jerry Adams on a number of occasions, and and I met other IRA members. That was before. As far as researching when I got the job, I really didn't do a whole lot of research when I got the job, but I've been up there, and I've met IRA members and all that. So
wow.
But a funny story about the cops and about bikers. You know, in real life, the cops and the bikers are meant to hate each other, the 1%ers and the cops. You know, but the cops are actually huge fans of the Sons of Anarchy. So I'm driving my car in Santa Monica one day. I'm at a crosswalk, and this cop puts on his lights behind me and stops me. And I'm thinking, I didn't see a fucking pedestrian crossing the friggin' crosswalk. What the fuck am I after doing here, you know? So the guy gets out of the car, and he comes up to the side window, and he says, "Hey man, I'm a big fan," you know. So fucking
Oh, I gotta tell you a quick story about that. I stopped at a stoplight, and I didn't know it, but I was supposed to turn right. It was a right lane, and I just went straight ahead, and there was a cop directly across the street in a car. So I go, and I see the cop turn around and come my way. So I said, I'm gonna get fucking pulled over for something. So I pull over, right? He puts the thing on, I pull over, and he comes walking up to the car, and he looks and he spots me, and he goes, "Get the hell out of here, get the hell out of here." And my daughter and my girlfriend were in the car, and they're going, "You're not gonna get my fucking ticket?" And you know, they love the show, you know.
Yeah, like you said, universally, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what side of the law you're on, you know what I mean, or what level of type, you know, person you are, you know what I mean, like what age you are. It's a universal show with universal fans.
They all made fun of me for not getting the ticket. You know, they wanted me to get the ticket. You know, but one time my girlfriend was driving, and she gets stopped, and so she pulls out the you know, UNSA card, You know, she should write the license registration. So she says here, and he goes, you know, you're going a little fast. And she said, well, I just left, I don't know where the hell she was going, Memorial or some shit, you know, with my boyfriend. She goes, well, who's your boyfriend? He goes, Wayne Unser. And the guy goes, really? You know, okay. And he, you know, she gives him back the thing and she takes off, you know. But, yeah, they love the show.
All right, so Dane and Timothy both got out of some tickets there. Michael, Rusty, any stories of getting out of things?
When I had after season 2, and I had my fingers cut off, I was in a bar in New York eating a hamburger, and 2 cops were like a few stools down from me, and they were staring at me, and I was getting nervous, you know, as you do, and they said, can't believe you got fingers. So I just I'm so happy I kept eating my hamburger. But yeah, and I hear that a lot from people, man. I can't believe you really got fingers. Oh, it's so weird to see you with fingers. Yeah.
Let's get to another fan question. A bunch of people are asking very similar questions. Villain S Pixie on Twitch, also Joanna Foster, Felicia Dubois. Obviously, it's a very emotionally and challenging show. There's a lot of big emotional scenes that go on, and folks are wondering what was the most challenging, either emotionally or, again, a lot of stunts too, physically, a scene that you remember that sticks out to you, shooting from the series, for anybody.
It was hard when people split, like when Ryan, you know, when Opie, and then you know, as people would go, because you take it to heart, man. It's like, you know, it's like your world that you're living inside of, that you're creating and everything, you know, that was always hard, you know, when things happen, like when things happen on the show, you know, we're all the kind of actors that took it serious, that took it to heart, that really lived it, you know, and you know, and you can't help it, you know, but to feel what's going on, you know, in your life, and carry it around, and then, you know, and then keep it going. So it was we were all definitely emotionally connected to what was going on all the time.
I just kept saying better him than me. Okay, another one down. Better him than me. Fuck.
Wayne made it a lot. Dayton, you joked earlier. I mean, Unser made it a good run. He had a good run. Obviously, spoiler alert for anyone watching, but he makes it a good way. What was that like? And you said you didn't know when it was happening. Did you know that season when Wayne ultimately?
No. And actually, I was supposed to live all the way through. You know, they changed for some reason. When I meet with Gemma to kill her, you know, she tells me to, you know, please kill me. I was supposed to kill her to spare Charlie from killing her.
Wow.
But at the last minute, Charlie wanted to kill her, or thought it was right, and he ended up killing her. But it was supposed to be I killed, and Charlie kills me, you know. Oh no, how the fuck did it work? Yeah, Charlie kills himself, but I kill his mother, because they wanted to say, you know, she tells me, kill me so my son doesn't have to kill his mother.
Wow.
And then they changed that, and he kills his mother.
Yeah. I mean, still.
But I got paid for the last episode.
Nice.
So, all I did was I laid on the ground, and they stepped over me, and I got paid.
Wow.
So,
wow.
It worked out okay.
Yeah. Amazing scene too. Obviously a very emotional scene as a fan too, taking the ride that long and then having all that kind of come to a head in those final moments. Whew, that was intense.
Yeah, it was, you know, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Timothy,
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
No, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say the scene where I say goodbye to Charlie and shake his hand. I didn't realize that I was like preparing his chariot for him. You know, I was building his bike. And, you know, when you're doing shit, you know, I'm not the kind of person who thinks. And I'm just, you know, it's like I just go in and so I was building his bike. And then when I shook his hand and when he rode off, I realized what was going on, you know, and that was pretty cool because it was like a discovery for me after we shot, you know, it was something that happened off camera. But I realized, wow, man, I think he's gonna go do something here.
Yeah,
you know.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was cool. It was always surprising for us too, man.
You actually had a thought.
Huh?
Like,
You actually had a thought.
It was kind of a thought. It was like sort of. It was a
every week when the new
I get
scripts,
thoughts.
you know, when the new scripts would come out every week, you'd have to, you know, wonder, am I going to be taken out this week? And it's like nobody was safe. And that's what Kurt said. Remember at the table read at the beginning of season 7, he said, nobody's safe except maybe Charlie, you know, but he said at the end of this one, it's going to be a real short line.
Wow.
And it was.
Yeah.
You know, I can't even remember everybody that died and lived. I mean, it was like, I can't remember. Did you die?
More people died than lived.
Yeah, especially and a series to kill off many of the main characters too. Not even, you know, any series can get away with sort of the secondary or the henchmen, right? You know, dying and things like that. But these were big characters that we fell in love with, that we, you know, grew to like really know as characters. Yeah. Timothy, what about you? Were you aware of your end? if now that we're talking about ends here.
Yeah. I mean, they usually tell you the episode before or just before the episode you're to die that you're going to die, and you get a telephone call. But on that particular day, there wasn't a good feeling in the place because Ron got killed and I got killed, but Ron had been in it from the very beginning, you know, and you always, if you're going to die, you're hoping that you're going to go out blasting like Butch Cassidy and Sundance, and then they have you just get fucking shot, you lie in sticky fucking red stuff for the whole night, you know. So basically, yeah, so that was, there wasn't a good atmosphere, I thought, because Ron was being killed. And also the other tough scene was, as I said, the very first day where I had to give a big speech to all the biker gang that, you know, and I had to intimidate them basically. So those were 2 tough days. As far as working on the show, it was just great fun. I mean, even though I was playing a bad guy and killing people, I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah. Timothy, we lost your video there a second. I don't know if you tapped your phone by accident, but we can hear you still. Oh, there you go. You're back. You're back.
Right, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. You even left us. Yeah. Your call died a little bit there as you were talking about.
Someone's trying to call me or something.
Was there a date, and you mentioned like so many characters and not even remembering? A fan just asked a question, Joanna Foster. Was there a character that stuck out to you as being the biggest surprise, the biggest death surprise of the series for anyone out there?
Me.
Yeah. Like I said, you made it. You made it all the way to almost the end. Almost the end.
I said, I'm gonna fucking make it. It's gonna be home free. Then the motherfucker kills me. You know? So what kind of shit is that? You know? I ended up beating cancer and everything, and all of a sudden I get shot. Charlie. You know? So that was a surprise.
Yeah. Anyone else? I know Opie was a big one for fans.
Bobby. When Bobby.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Right?
That one too.
That was like quick.
Bobby,
you know,
was
it was
mad.
like
Bobby got mad. Bobby got mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got mad. He didn't want to die. He got mad.
I think Ron wasn't too happy about it either,
Ron,
right?
Yeah, Ron got pissed off too.
Yeah, I remember that.
No.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, but at least the show went out, you know, in its own way. And the story is ultimately a tragedy. A lot of people compare it to Hamlet. You know what I mean? Like it's very Shakespearean, you know, and that's what happens in these stories. You know, everyone eventually turns on everyone, and that's how it goes. No one makes it in the end.
Life,
yeah, that's life. You know, it's ultimately a tragic story.
Let's Hollywood, right?
I mean, right? Yeah. Let's talk about Kurt, because my gosh, what an influence he's had in multiple series, but obviously Kurt Sutter, the show creator. You know, oftentimes a show creator will kind of get the show started 1 or 2, 3 seasons and then passes it off to, you know, other writers, and just kind of stays in the background and produces. But Kurt was he was acting in it. He was there directing for every series finale. You know, I'd love to hear a little bit, you know, from each one of you about your experience working with Kurt and what he meant to the show.
I think he's a great guy. I mean, I love working with him, and I've met him outside, you know, gone on bike rides with him and stuff, and he's very talented and very unique, and I think he brought, you know, it was a great accomplishment doing what he did, you know. So
Yeah.
I have nothing but good things to say about him, actually.
Yeah, in the 8 seasons, was it 8 or 7?
Seven.
See, I can't even remember. in the 7 seasons, I only had basically one conversation with Kurt. I mean, I had, you know, just figured it's safer if I don't talk to this guy. I mean, so I got through like 7 years without having a conversation. I mean, once in a while it would point, and I would get it. But you know, I mean, he was obviously good to me, you know, and I appreciate everything he did. I appreciate the scenes and all that. It was fucking great. But we really didn't have too many conversations, you know.
Maybe that's why Unser made it so long.
That's,
you know, you played it safe. You played it safe.
I'm sure I'll say something to piss him off, and so I get fucked up.
Yeah. Michael, Rusty, any?
But yeah, stories? I mean, that's the thing. He was real hands-on. He acted in it. He wrote it. He created it. He did it. You know, he's an artist, so an old school artist. You know, like you know, like the way guys made movies in the 70s. You know, back then. You know, they did everything. You write it, you film it, you shoot it, even maybe, you know, I mean, it's your piece of work. It's like a painting, like the way I paint, you know. So he was involved 100% and molding it, steering it, and bringing it this way and that way, and then hopping in to act in it and play that character, that complicated character, you know, and all that stuff. So it was, you know, for me, and I know Kurt a long time, man. I met him a long time ago, you know, and you know, so that was the way, you know, it's an old school kind of way to work, you know, that a lot of people don't work in, but I think it's really fantastic to work that way, you know.
It's interesting you mentioned the 70s. You definitely get that raw, gritty feel, you know what I mean, in the series.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it feel real and not just kind of, you know, schlocky, if you will, you know. Yeah. Joe Castillo wants to know, we'll start with you, Rusty, because obviously the question is yes, or the answer is yes. Joe Castillo wants to know, do you guys ride? And if so, what are you riding?
Yeah, I've been in the motorcycle scene since 1974, as far as Harley Davidsons go. I've been in the club world since 1980s, and I ride Victory Harley, and I have a BMW. I've got 171 horsepower on 2 of my bikes.
Nice. Real
close. I mean, those things are fast. And the other one's probably got about 130. And I ride all the time.
Yeah. Thanks. Dave, Michael, Timothy, I know your characters weren't the main characters that were in part of the club, you know, or I mean, Michael, you were obviously, but any experience or have you picked up motorcycle or riding since?
Yeah, I actually just would rent, like, you know, whenever we do trips like that, because I had my first bike was a Triumph, 500cc Triumph, and it was back in the 60s. But I hit a car head on, and that was the end of that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well, so, we went. The only reason I'm here is because my cousin and I were on the bike, and we hit the guy made a left turn, and we hit the dead center and we went up. Instead of going in, we went up. I mean, we landed in these bushes. It was in Florida. We landed in these bushes and got all cut up, but it saved our lives, you know. But so I got rid of that bike, and then I didn't ride again much until the show, and then I would just, you know, rent bikes. I like the Fat Bob, you know, but then we all went down to Pendleton to the hospital one time. We took, you know, a bunch of us on the bikes and go visit the troops, and I almost killed myself. I almost ran into the side of a truck. So, you know, I stopped getting on bikes. They said, that's not good for you. But
Michael,
I grew up in Jersey. You know, we had dirt bikes. You know, and I was like 12. We used to go all over the place with the fire roads and like where the meadowlands were. That was all like enduro tracks that people before me made. You know, so I grew up with dirt bikes and stuff, and then I had a lot of like used bikes in the city. You know, throughout my life, and now I got a Triumph now.
Awesome.
I've a Harley, and I didn't grow up with bikes or anything. I drove friends' bikes sometimes, but this guy who was a Harley dealership, Timothy Wheelahan out in Carolina, wanted me to do an appearance out there, and then he was back in LA, and we've a mutual friend, and he said, "My God, I'd love to get on the Sons of Anarchy." And I said, "Fuck it, I can't get you on the Sons of Anarchy. It's a hit show. He can't, you know, he's not an actor or anything. But he's a big, bulky kind of guy, you know, with a goatee and looks the type, tattoos and all that." So I said, and my buddy says, "Look, he might be able to get you on as an extra. If he gets you on as an extra, would you give him a Harley?" And he says, "Yeah, man, I give him a Harley, no problem. You know, business, you know." So I fucking got the guy on as an extra, and I got a fucking Harley. So I've been riding it since, you know.
Hey, good deal. Good deal. Good work.
Always fucking trying to find ways to make money or get you fucking good.
That's awesome. Gentlemen, we are just about out of time. I just want to remind the fans, this has been such an awesome conversation reflecting back on the series. I know I rewatched it again. I know a lot of people rewatching it. So shout out to all the fans watching across the country, across the world right now. Just know that if you have an individual question you want to ask these awesome gentlemen, those one-on-one video chats are still on sale to the top of the hour, and then they'll be taking place in about 15, 20 minutes time. So definitely take advantage of that at wizardworldvirtual.com. And also just know that autographs, video recorded messages will be happening and on sale throughout the week. If you're watching this live or you're watching this later. Gentlemen, I want to just go around the room one more time. Shout out to the fans. You know, any final remarks? I'll say that Janet Barry, Michael is specifically asking about your artwork. What I'd love to know is a little bit and anything you have upcoming. Also from the fan, Nicole Michaels wants to know what you've been doing during this downtime and what we can look forward to seeing you working on in the future. So Dayton, why don't we start with you? What you've been doing and what coming up?
Yeah, I mean the day I was supposed to start production on a movie that we'll eventually maybe get to. And then the pandemic hit, and that was put on hold, you know. But exactly, I was supposed to start in the next week. We were supposed to start shooting, and I don't want to give out the name, but because it's bullshit anyway, it'll change. But that's you know, that was what I was going to do, and so right now I'm just hanging out talking to these guys.
Yeah. Hey, well, we appreciate you being here. Michael, tell us a little bit about your art, and then, you know, what any other things you have coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I paint every day. I paint. I've been writing. So during this whole pandemic, man, we've been hunkered in, and I've just been working and working. You know, trying to stay busy every day. And us two were supposed to go back to work with Mayans, like in April. So that was put off. So everything is like in a state of suspended animation. So just trying to fill up every day. I got kids, so I'm teaching my kids, and I'm cooking, and my wife's working from home, thank God. So, you know, that's happening. And we got our own little world here, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, we wish you luck. We can't wait to get to season 3, I think, right, of Mayans. I know Anna Temblador said she hopes that Chucky gets the family that he's always been longing for. So
awesome, man.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Chucky. Rusty, tell us about your band. You know, anything you've been doing there, and then your shop, obviously.
Yeah, the band. I'm on hiatus right now. I just kind of burned out with that right now, and I've been doing a lot of construction. I'm a general contractor also, and I like building stuff. And I build some crazy medieval looking stuff. So I get all into that, and you know, work till weird hours of the night on that stuff a lot of the time. And then you know, I still do stuff with cars, bikes, anything that's a challenge. You know, like I just recently took a Tesla that was, the whole front end was gone on the thing. It was totaled, rebuilt that thing. I'm driving that thing around, you know, no sound. It's weird, man.
Rusty, you still making those wagons, the carriages?
The big chariots?
Yes.
I haven't made one lately, but I'm gonna do one that's all electric next instead of
Wow.
the gas, because when people are riding in those, you get the fumes from the engines. Could you imagine Central Park having the badass chariots like those
Right.
things that I made, but electric? You know, being towed by something real cool that's electric, so they don't have the whole problem with the horses, with the fumes, nothing. You know.
That'd be beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know, you just insulted the guy. You know what I mean? Do you make those wagons?
You gotta see him, man. You gotta see
And then he
him.
said, they're chariots. Okay, they're chariots.
Chariot.
You still make those fucking wagons?
Oh wait,
Words,
get a picture.
words come to me when they come, man. Words.
I like that Russ.
Think. You got to think before his shit comes out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
Oh, there we go. Oh,
I
man.
forgot how to think.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah,
Cool, guys.
Oh, there you go. That looks like a fucking. There, that's a chariot. That's not a wagon.
That thing's got a 400 horsepower V8 towing it,
There.
but it scares the hell out of the
Look at
people
that.
back.
Wow. That's awesome. Rusty, where can we see? Do you have a website or like a place that fans can go to check out your work?
You can just go on the internet and type in my name or Illusion Cycles, and a lot of stuff there's probably going to be at least 60 motorcycles, some cars, some chariots and stuff that'll pop up. I built about 10 of these in various different styles.
Wow.
Some of them are big, like limousines, all kinds of stuff. But what I'm doing now is I'm transitioning to electric for a lot of this crazy stuff. You know, it makes more sense. And
that's awesome.
I got this thing about Central Park, man. I want to do one of those over there and just test it. I think it'd go over pretty good. You know.
Oh,
It's a good idea, man. Summertime, those horses get hot, man.
Yeah, the horses sit there. It's like torture. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and electric, there's nothing going on. There's no moving parts hardly, and there's no smog, so it's better for everybody. The environment, the people, you know.
Yep.
You perform well, man. I can make these things like look as good as any Harley or car or whatever, you know.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Rusty. That's as a New Yorker living in New York right now, I think that would be awesome. Not only the horses, but then the Petty Crab drivers, man, they are just like not, you know, they don't make a ton of money, and this would be an awesome like flary way for them to entice people to come onto their pedicabs. That's super cool. Super cool.
Wagons by Rusty.
endorsed. Michael, you could do the artwork for it. It'd be, oh man, we got a match here, I think. Timothy, congrats again on the recent season of Snowpiercer. I know it was awesome for us. You know, oh my gosh, look at that. That's
like it.
Yeah, Cinderella style.
Rusty, I might talk to you about building some vintage kind of bobber bike at some
You know
stage,
what?
man.
The funny thing, I can build anything. I don't care if it's a house, a car, a bike, whatever, as long as it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That thing's covered in quartz. What do they call those crystals?
Quartz crystals.
Yeah.
Underneath it, on the top, everywhere, it's covered in crystals.
Huh.
Wow.
And so is the trike that tows it.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
We
those are
call it
beautiful.
chariots of our anarchy now, okay?
Yeah. COA. Cam Crow? I don't know if that works. Timothy, tell us again. Congrats on Snowpiercer, fun series. You know, what are you most excited for coming up, and what have you been doing kind of to pass the time?
Well, I did a series with Jessica Alba called LA's Finest, but that's not popular right now, obviously, LA's Finest. You know? So they pulled that, and I think they'll probably show it later on. And then I did a movie called New Year, and I think that just before the pandemic or the lockdown, and basically painting the house, dealing with unemployment, all actors, you know. I mean, there's a lot of hardship out there. I mean, it's my sole way of living, you know, so it's the only income coming in. So when that stops, the whole industry just shut down for, 5 months or whatever, and everyone involved in the industry is dealing with unemployment and having to feed the family and all that. So I think there's a lot of hardship out there that we're not even hearing about. And, having young kids not going to school, hanging around all the time. And yeah, so my heart goes out to everybody in the industry that's struggling right now, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I know there's a lot that people can do out there. Save the Stages is a great organization, especially the crew, you know, the carpenters and the set designers and the electricians and the engineer, really, they really are just completely out of work. And so our love goes out to them. Gentlemen, we are out of time. I want to thank you so much. For all the fans out there, please, another big round of emojis. Go back. It's all there on Hulu. Watch it again. Watch it for the first time. Sons of Anarchy, a brilliant show, one of the most successful shows in the recent, 10 years. We got to talk to these awesome gentlemen and hear all their amazing stories. Let's give it up one more time for Dayton Cali, Michael Ornstein, Rusty Coons, and Timothy V. Murphy, everybody. Thank you, gentlemen. As I mentioned again, you can head to wizardworldvirtual.com to purchase those one-on-one video chats, those video recorded messages, and those autographs. One-on-one video chats is happening in 10 minutes or so. We're going to give our actors a little break there, and then they'll be joining you in your private one-on-one Zoom room with a Wizard World employee. If you're watching this later, obviously remember to check out all of the other experiences on wizardworldvirtual.com. And also the Wizard World Vault for signed memorabilia from past conventions, past virtual experiences. We've got some amazing panels coming up next week. We have the cast of American Horror Story, in addition to some other cast of Smallville. We're doing a second part of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Will be on Sunday, so I'm excited to talk to some of those actors as well. So again, continue to follow us at Wizard World on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My name's Mike G. I've been your host. You can follow me at Mike G Does Things on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get those questions in early for those panels that I moderate. This has been a blast, and we hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there, and shout out again to all of those artisans and craftspeople in the Hollywood industry. Much love going out to you, and we hope we can get back soon. That's it, everybody. Have a great weekend and great afternoon.